Hey, it's your boy, Chango Smiles, coming at you with another video. This one is Try Not to Laugh Joe Rogan Experience Part 3. That's right, we are at the third version of this. If this is your first time watching, you're missing out. Go back and watch those other two videos. They were great. Gotta love it. I'm excited about this. Let's check it out.
What's the deal with airplane peanuts?
Airplane peanuts.
And health, man. When I heard you tell that podcast, and I'm so glad to know that you were talking to me because I heard it as if you were talking to me. I told Brian Callen, I go, you ever do a podcast and you think Joe's talking to you? And he goes, all the fucking time.
I'm never talking to you, Brian Callen. Never. If I'm talking to Brian Callen, I'll call him up.
He said, he goes, one time Joe even said my name.
Fucking laugh.
If you think about how ridiculous it is, if people didn't know that having sex with people has consequences, and by that I mean you can get pregnant, you can get diseases. If there was and there's cultural limitations, people frown upon it. But if there was none of those, can you imagine how much people would be fucking?
Oh yeah.
It would be insane.
Yeah.
If there was no such thing as masturbating.
You could fuck at a gas station. People be fucking, yeah.
If there was no such, if masturbation wasn't possible, first of all, you know what would happen?
What?
Women would rule everything. 100%.
They would have to legalize prostitution. Think about it, right? Because women would have too much power at that point. We couldn't whack off and shit. They would have to, right? Anyways, let's carry on.
But men would have so much chi built up in them.
Nope. They'd be bitches. They'd be giving in every chance they could.
Oh, because the women would own it.
It would be worth so much more.
That's true.
Yeah, because women would be able to decide whether or not you came. There's the only way. If that was the only way, if women were the rulers of whether or not you came, if there was no way to come without them,
we're fucked, dude. I know that's going to be the next law.
If they're really smart, that's how they would take over. Chop our arms off.
Dude, but you're telling me though, you wouldn't watch like a little like Chinese guy jerk off from like 30 feet away.
We're going back to this again.
No, but just tell me.
I watch train accidents. I don't want them to happen. If Jamie pulls up a video of a train accident. Oh my God, you got to see this. I'm like, shit. Okay, go ahead. Karen. Imagine if your fucking kid's named Karen. What a bummer that must be. If you're a nice person named Karen, and then Karen.
Well, it's like Corona beer. I mean, I can't believe they had to stop that. That makes me sad.
What do you mean? They stopped the name?
That's what I'm told. They stopped making it. Now, I don't know if that's true. That's the source I heard. But
I still enjoy a Corona. I'm not a fucking child.
I like Corona Light, but what am I going to do? And then AIDS candy. That was a smart move. You had to stop that diet candy.
Yeah, it makes you lose weight.
It's ironically sad.
Most people don't even know what we're talking about. It's AIDS, right?
Correct.
That's what it's called. And
Correct.
it was a diet candy, like a chocolate.
Yeah.
That you would eat.
I never took it.
Holy shit. You guys got to comment down below if you had diet candy before. Diet chocolate? I mean, I get there's low calorie stuff, but like what makes it diet is what I want to know. I remember one time I went to a candy store. It was one of the bomb-ass Mexican candy stores with all this shit. I go in there, and I'm always on a health kick and shit, trying to watch myself and stuff, and I go in there asking them what the calorie is of something. I was like, hey, what's the calories in that? And the lady looks at me and she goes, you know this is a candy store, right? And when she said that, I felt so stupid, right? It's one of those, like, you had to be there kind of thing. And every so often I think about that because I'm like, you know what? She had a point. I was that guy in that situation, right? But anyways, let's carry on.
I mean, it's like the X-Lax for dieting.
Oh, is it like a...
Well, X-Lax actually helps you diet also.
But all it does is just get rid of the food that's in your body. It just
It's
makes
not
you
healthy.
shit. No.
No, I was somewhere once and I was on Imodium because I was having a rough day. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
That's
R.I.P.
another
by the
diuretic,
way.
right? Or
No, it's constipator.
Yeah.
I mean, it
appetite
solidifies.
suppressant candy. Oh, so it's an appetite
That looks like
suppressant.
some
So it's not a...
old shit.
No.
What is X-Lax? That's a
X-Lax makes you,
laxative.
it's a laxative.
Yeah.
It helps you, makes you shit diarrhea,
Yeah,
explosive,
it's-
explosively. If you eat the whole box, you could shit yourself to death. You could OD on it.
What is barf?
Cock
What is
flavored
barf?
soup.
Barf
Barf is-
detergent, it said.
Oh,
That's funny. Barf's a detergent? Is that real? They didn't discontinue it because
Terrible
people
product.
vomit.
Did they find out they really did discontinue Corona beer? That sounds so
It
ridiculous.
sounds. That's what I heard from
It's
somebody.
a classic.
There
It's a
was
great
also
beer.
a candy called anal warts that they decided to take off the market. You know, that's the kind of shit that
I see what
Why
you
do I
did
do
there.
it? You
couldn't
never
help
went
yourself.
there.
Couldn't help yourself. You know
I
what
don't
it is?
know.
All those years of Full House. Although I am talking, this is not my podcast. This podcast belongs to the one and only Mr. Chris Ryan, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay! Thank you.
Let everybody know what we're doing.
This is number 3 of our continuing series of Three Musketeer podcasts with Joe Rogan, Duncan Trussell, and yours truly. So now we're in Joe's studio actually because I don't have a studio.
Well, we were trying to figure out if we should do our own podcast, and we said, no, we already have 3 podcasts. Let's just swap off.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's really, we should name them though, just so that people could find them, because I think
Right.
a lot of these conversations are going to deal with some subjects that maybe they would want to reference, and they would forget which one it was, and we don't want them to have to listen to
Right.
X amount of hours.
So we should come up with a time. I mean, Three Musketeers is too easy. Circle jerk.
Tripod was one. that someone-
Tripod. The triangular.
I like the Three Amigos. Sounds
The
like
Three Amigos,
It
that's
sounds.
good,
I don't know. It sounds unpretentious.
How about the Lords of Truth?
Well, that's not pretentious.
The Lord.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just kidding.
The spiritual arbiters of the Western world.
How about Shrimp Parade?
I just wanted to figure out a way to use
Shrimp
arbiters. What is a shrimp parade?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'd go to one though.
All right, I thought that was some sort of reference to our penises, but that's just
That's
a-
because you always think about people.
Well, you were just saying your
immediately.
podcast was a sausage fest, Duncan, and then
I
you
meant
come up
literally.
with
I didn't.
shrink.
I wasn't using the term. That didn't mean phallus.
Oh, you just talk
You're
about
the
sausage
sexist.
a lot?
No, I just mean like, yeah, my podcast reminds me of a package of old, salty, briny, withered sausages that you might find at a secondhand meat store.
Briny.
Secondhand meat. What the fuck is a secondhand meat store? What a
Discarded old sausage. Once this guy, no, they
What a great description, though.
Tra-
Secondhand meat store.
Trader Joe's is. I got to get more girls. I got to get more girls on my podcast.
Gals is what you said.
Sure, I said gals.
He's trying to be
Gals.
funny, though. He's trying to be funny. That's the reason. The funniest page on the internet. I'm not bullshit. Joke World's Instagram page is the funniest page on the internet.
Wow, man, thanks. That is so surreal to hear coming from you. But
Shout
we're still
out
just
to
trying to
Joe
keep it
World.
growing, keep it moving every day.
But more importantly, this is like a new thing.
Yeah, you're right. It is a new thing. There's really no other accounts promoting comedians like this right now.
Yeah.
Especially not on Instagram.
Well, I had seen people do like little things. Here it is. Look at this. Here's.
Yeah, so here it is, Joke World on Instagram. The link is going to be in the bio right now, so you can follow it real quick. But basically, comedians send in their best 60-second clips to us, and then every day we feature a new up-and-coming or less-known comedian that
Right.
needs a platform, which is why it's so important that everyone who hears this right now goes and follows that link in the bio,
Fucking
our
Joke
Instagram,
World,
Joke World
my
on Instagram,
favorite.
Yeah.
because the power really comes from the people, the fans of comedy, the people that are going to be viewing this video. And I know thousands of people will see this.
Right.
So it's a big opportunity for us to, create a really powerful tool
Right.
in comedy, a really powerful platform.
This is just like a new thing.
Yeah.
People get this this new opportunity to do shit on. The internet is so interesting in that way.
No, that's true. It is new, and not a lot of people are getting these opportunities, which is why it's such a cool thing that any comedian in the world can send in their best 60-second clip, and then it can be seen by our whole audience.
I
and
know.
so that's why it's so important to make that audience as big as we can,
Yeah.
because that's how we're going to become powerful and how it's going to become something really special for these comedians to be featured on Joke World.
Yeah.
So it's in the bio right now. Go click it. And we also send everyone free stickers who follows and DMs us. So if you want any
I want
Joke
a
World
free
free
sticker.
stickers, then that's just another reason to follow. But the main reason should be because you love comedy. So just follow right now, live on the podcast.
Follow them right now
Follow
on
right
live
now.
on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, this is the funniest page on the internet.
Yeah, it was a guy, and his nose was wedged
Oh,
firmly in this girl's butt crack, and then she saran wrapped his head to her butt.
And then
It
she
was
did
great.
errands, and she walked around the kitchen, and she like turned the sink on, and
And
turned
she's
the,
just farting.
and she's
Yeah.
farting. He's like, She's like, yeah, you like those dirty farts, huh?
Yeah, it's like, I like
That's a
anything
good-
with saran wrap and
farts.
shit is funny.
Like sack lunch.
Sack lunch. There's
Yeah.
this guy that has saran wrap diaper on, and he just the camera just pans to him and he spreads his cheeks and fills it with diarrhea. The saran wrap. It's so funny. It's simple, but it's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Just like a
Why
meal,
is
a
that
fine
good?
meal.
What is
it's
good
so
about
funny.
that?
It's the sound, it's the timing. It kind of
Yeah, it fills up fast.
like it pans in just at the right, and then it turns ever so slightly, and the spread and the sound.
There's just something about someone
good.
relishing a woman's farts, like holding
Yeah.
on to their cheeks with there's no. Oh yeah. Oh baby.
We talked about it for a while, and then people wrote in. People wrote in that were into it, because we were like,
tell us
and
about
then they were
this,
telling us, they were like, yeah, it goes back to like a pretty girl making something dirty, So it's like,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
so embarrassed of what I did. So this guy, he wrote in that he was like my now his fiance. Like, knows and is cool, and like whenever she has to fart, she calls him over, and he gets so excited. He loves it. He loves it.
Come on, how strange are people? People are so strange.
She earned it. That's the thing about like Anna
True.
Nicole Smith when his fucking stupid kids wanted his estate. No, Anna Nicole was sucking his dick. Didn't you do a bit about this?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, it's
It
one of my
was-
closers
Yes,
from
the same-
1999.
Wait, what was
Well, it's the whole thing about them saying like, "Oh my God, she's taking advantage of him. She's only with him for his money." I'm like, don't you think he fucking knows?
Right.
That guy made $1 billion from scratch. Chances
Yeah.
are he's a tad crafty. And it was like this whole thing about like, how do you want to die? Do you want to die shaking and alone in your hospital bed surrounded by loved ones? Or do you want to get a big fat Kentucky Fried hooker and just blow it out? And that's what he did. And it was all him dying, telling her to lick his ass and all the different shit he did to her right before he died.
And the kids have done nothing, and they
They've done
think
nothing.
they deserve. You were raised with all that fucking money. You went to private schools. You had tennis coaches. He probably bought you houses. Why do you need more? What the fuck did you do? You didn't suck his dick.
Yeah, you need to get your own money, stupid.
Right.
You rode the ride, and now it's over. And
Yeah, I agree. He's a self-made billionaire. You're telling me he's not smart enough to know that she's getting something out of it? But it's not like he's not either. It's his last days on Earth, and he just wants to get laid. Like, fucking take some Viagra's and shit. Fucking, I don't know. But, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I think he was well aware. Unless he's senile or something. I don't know. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Right? Like, was she in the wrong? Or like, was he a dummy head? Which one is it? Anyways, let's carry on.
I think also, and sounds fucked up, but that exists because it's a predatory situation. You're prey. If you're a vulnerable, old, weak, emotional guy who also has $1 billion, women are going to prey on you.
Right.
They're going to pretend to be something they're not. And they might even convince themselves that they are that something that they're pretending to be, because their instinct to try to acquire your wealth and your social status is so strong that they want to be the Trump girl. They want to be the new girl that Trump leaves his wife for. I couldn't imagine being a woman working in an office with a bunch of guys trying to fuck you all the time. It's got to be a goddamn nightmare. I can't imagine having a bunch of bosses that literally tell you suck my dick, I'll give you a raise. Like, that happens.
Yes.
It's got to be hell. I get it. I mean, I get it.
But you
from
have to
top
be.
to
You got to
bottom.
be like an 8 though. 8 on up to deal with that every day. I mean, let's be fucking honest. You know what I mean? There's
some
really
sixes out there.
There's
that
really if you got a
hit the
personality.
gym a lot. Got a nice ass.
There were 4 pigs that lived in the house, and one of them was Whitney Cummings' pig. And they brought Whitney Cummings' pig out to me, and I held it, and it squealed like I was fucking it. but I totally wasn't. I totally wasn't. But
I definitely did not watch that man fuck my wife.
pig. Yeah, no, I already don't believe you. I already don't believe you. That's a powerful statement. So anyway, then there's that story.
For years, I've been shocked, even with this platform. I'm like, how is there one guy that can speak to the whole world, and the U.S. government isn't fucking surveilling you and having drones everywhere?
They can watch the show. Anyone can get it.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, I've always wondered how he hasn't been assassinated yet. like he says some shit, right? And he has a lot of influence over a lot of people. And I can't imagine the government's happy about some of the shit he says, right? Like, even if he's wrong about shit, then it's like, that's almost worse, because then he's spreading fucking lies and shit, right? Or not, maybe not lies, but like wrong information to the masses, right? So like, I can't imagine, I bet there's a lot of people that don't want him around, and I'm surprised he's still alive. Just put it this way, if he ever dies from an overdose, or if he ever commits suicide, like, did he really, like, I feel like he got assassinated at that point. If he gets suicided, something fishy's going on, right? Anyways, let's carry on.
You're not hiding.
No.
That's it's like there's freedom in exposing.
Yes.
You can really be free if you just give.
Also, I'm a fucking cage fighting commentator. Who's gonna listen to me?
Dude, what if your deep state, that was really your smokescreen?
Imagine if you just got really good at these things just so you could be deep state. But the problem is that's not how people get good at things. They don't get good at things from no motivation. You'd never be able to compete with guys
that
who are out
love it.
there really hustling.
Yeah.
You have to be really hustling. And then they bring you to Fuck Island.
For me, sex is the one thing that completely focuses my mind.
That was wrong.
And rock climbing, which I did once.
Whoa.
And it's the last time I whimpered.
I would imagine that would fucking put a pucker in your little butthole.
Yeah. I think
What puts a pucker in your butthole? I mean,
Rock
sex.
climbing.
Oh.
That too. Rock climbing, man.
Yeah, no, rock climbing's intense. I mean, anything, scuba diving, anything where your body's convinced you're about to die really focuses your mind.
all right, well, I don't feel like I'm going to die when I'm having sex. I just
Doing
feel-
it wrong.
Well, but sex for me, I mean, especially when I was younger, I used to try to think about other things just to stop from coming.
Yeah.
And you know what worked for me? Old people in snow. That was the only thing that worked.
.com.
That's a good one.
Somebody get that. Old people in yellowsnow.com.
Old people trudging through the snow.
Maybe that should be our podcast.
Old people in
snow.
Yes!
That's not a bad idea.
Sounds like we're doing Blow or something. Old people on snow.
On snow.
It's the only thing that kept Chris Ryan from coming as a child.
From like 14 to 27. Yeah, those were the years.
I thought about you 2 weeks ago when I went to CVS and I saw a white guy and a hot African-American chick having an argument outside of CVS at 9:20 in the morning.
I really like this story.
He was a little chubby, and they were having some type of loud discussion. I went and I got my medication. When I walked out, he's yelling at her, "I want my wallet back, you fucking bitch."
Why'd you think of me?
Because
I'm like, wait,
you
what do
always
I
tell me
don't
about all
know?
those dirty bitches up in Van Nuys and shit.
A lot of people use stand-up to get a show, to get a writing gig, to get something. And I'm like, I can't stop being one. I am one.
Yeah.
It's part of my hard drive.
Well, it was the most fun, too. Like, they were asking me to do this thing that I was basically, like, I'd never taken any acting classes. I'd just gotten a development deal from MTV Half Hour Comedy Hour.
Right.
And they said, do you want to be on a sitcom? I'm like, oh, okay. And so they made me, like, get an acting coach, and I took a few classes, but it was really annoying. And then next thing you know, I'm out here in L.A. On a sitcom. And so when they said, like, why are you doing stand-up? You're an actor now. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
You've never killed. I'm like, you're saying this because you never killed.
They also didn't believe in hyphenates at that point. You can't do 3 things. You can't do 4 things. I'm sorry. You can only do one thing.
That was also when I started working for the UFC. And when I started working for the UFC, they were acting like I was doing porn. They're like, what are you doing? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to Alabama to do post-fight interviews for a cage fighting event. And they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That's
You
because
can't do
you're a
that.
fucking original. They don't know what that is.
I've seen both. I've seen people get victimized, and I've seen people that are just in sort of this relationship where I wouldn't want it, but it works for them. You know.
And sometimes they're out in the open with it. The woman will tease and be like, "Oh, honey, you know I wouldn't be with you if it wasn't for the fucking money."
Oh, it's not even a tease.
And he goes, "Of course I know that."
That's a movie. That's in a movie. What was the movie that was in? There was a movie that was in where the
Platoon.
Well, no, the one
Schindler's List. Terms of endearment.
See, you can't even help it. You do it right away.
Chitty chitty
you go
bang
right
bang.
to fucking Platoon. There's a picture in organs hanging out on the beach. I forget the movie, man. But it was just about a guy who lost everything. And in the scene, like his wife was like laughing about it when everything was going great. And then when he did lose all the money, she did fucking leave him.
Right.
Well, actually, it was in The Wolf of Wall Street too. It's a common theme. In The Wolf of Wall Street, obviously, he was a crazy, coked up fucking maniac.
You know, I feel like if money's the only thing getting you laid, then you're setting yourself up for failure, right? I mean, why can't you be good looking and rich, I guess? I mean, but then I guess, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Disregard that. There's too many variables, right? Who's to say that you're like some stud that's rich, that when you lose your money, she leaves anyways? Yeah, there's really no way to figure out people's true intentions, right? You can do everything right, she still leaves you because you're not rich. You're thinking like, I got it all, but all she really sees is the money. I don't know. Disregard all that. I might cut this out. Probably not. Let's check this out.
Shit. But when he was going under and his business was going under, that's when the wife left him.
Right.
When he was doing great, the wife wanted him when he was married to another woman.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a classic story. So it's not like that's an unfamiliar paradigm to us. It's nature.
Right.
It's a wounded antelope that gets taken out by the lion. It's
Nature. And she needs somebody to provide for her.
Or she
protect her.
doesn't, but in that role, she does.
Mhm.
If she chooses that role. If she chooses the role of fucking the old, wrinkly, shaky man with his fucking pale, translucent dick that he sticks inside, we can see as he's coming, you can see the veins like pump, whatever blood they've got, and it's like a little highway going down his fucking saran-wrapped skin.
Filled with Viagra.
Yeah, and just shooting dust bubbles into her pussy. Yeah.
Dust bubbles
Yeah, man.
into
I mean,
her
that's
pussy.
something you can take that choice, or you could start an art gallery and become a multimillionaire on your own. I mean, you could do that too.
Right.
But when you are that girl, okay, if you are that 25-year-old girl with an Adderall problem that's looking to try to hook up with some old billionaire dude and marry him so that you'd be taken care of for life, that's your role. That's what you've chosen. You might have more potential than that, but it doesn't mean that that's not what you've chosen. Oh, you don't even know, baby. She's so slick. She's so smart. I mean, that is one of the smartest girls I've ever met in my life. When she met him and she put all together, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Okay, you're talking nonsense. She's still that girl.
She's a prostitute.
You can't say, no, listen, you can't say she's a prostitute, because I know her, and she's powerful.
Yeah.
And what she did was, she's really clever, and she figured out a way
I
to
love
manipulate
the
guys.
prostitutes.
No, she's still a prostitute.
Right.
You're missing the whole point.
Right.
It doesn't matter if she has all this potential. She reads 150 books a week, okay? Don't fucking tell me.
150
That girl
books.
is so goddamn smart. Oh my god. You're saying she's not smart? No. Saying she's a hooker.
All right.
She's playing the role of a hooker.
Sometimes in the podcast, I'll shout out to people who sent me emails, interesting emails.
That's a terrible idea. You should cease that at once.
Well, all right, I'll cease that
You're
right
gonna
after I
get
do
an
this one.
avalanche.
Jack William Verberne, or how,
You know, this whole YouTube thing, right? I like having interactions with my subscribers, right? Like, I promise, man, like, I would like to think that, like, if I blew up, right, let's say I have like 100,000 subscribers, it would suck if I ever got to the point where I just couldn't keep up, right? I just don't understand how people, like, balance that, right? And I feel like that would suck. Because I like talking to people, right? I've always told myself, like, one day, maybe when I retire or whatever, and I'm bored, I don't have shit to do, I feel like I would like to be a bartender. Because if this is your first, if I've seen you 5 days in a row, I want to know why. Like, what is your story? Why are you so fucked up and need to fucking come here and spend all your money and drink 5 days a week? And you're losing money on the slots. And, like, I'm a people person, right? And so, like, it would suck if I ever got to the point where I'm so big I just can't keep up with all my subscribers and all the conversations that we're having and that kind of thing. This is my promise to you guys. I'm going to try my best, even if I grow big, fucking to keep this small, I guess, as much as possible. But anyways, let's keep going.
Verburn, or however he says it. He lives in New Zealand, had a shitty job. He wrote to say, I emailed you last year asking for advice, da-da-da. You didn't feel comfortable, but you said something, and you said to me, the only way to fly is to jump. So I thought I'd email you again and tell you that because of listening to you and Duncan and Joe...
I'm now paralyzed from
I found out about airplanes. You're full of shit, man. The only way to fly is get on a fucking airplane.
Have you seen King Ash Ripper's work?
Excuse me?
Please, God,
please look him up.
What is that?
Oh,
Who is
I'm
this
so
guy?
excited.
This guy, we've reached
What is
out a
it?
lot, offered him money, and he
What?
won't.
Yeah.
Yes, just because he's such
won't
a
come on our
creative
show.
guy.
What are you
And
talking
Maybe
about?
you could get him. Maybe the great
Yes.
Joe Rogan could get him.
Great
What
Joe
are your
Rogan.
powers?
King Ash Ripper.
Ass Ripper.
Yeah, hairy and gross, the Lord of all farts and gluttony. He makes videos.
Oh, no.
of himself.
Oh, this is him?
Yeah.
King Ass Ripper. Oh, please give me some volume.
That's still.
Holy wow.
No, okay, he is moving.
Is that real?
Yes. Oh, go to
His
Ripping
face.
Massive Farts.
Yeah, go to Rippin.
One under it.
How do you know this is
they're-
real? Hold
they're-
on.
Oh, because he has an opus. This
Hold
is
on.
just one of many.
What's up with his pants?
Yeah, he does.
So stupid.
It's getting brown there.
He's got 199,000 hits.
Yeah.
How many fucking stand-up bits online of 199,000
Not
hits?
mine.
Even with Elon, it's like you reach a certain level, you must have. Look, if I'm the guy, if I'm Deep State, right, and I would know we got this smart South African dude, right, and he can invent anything, he can do all this cool shit, and I'm gonna be like, all right, yeah, bring him over here. And he's like, all right, maybe I want to go, sell some shit to Saudi Arabia. And I'll be like, maybe you don't. You know what I'm saying? and then, right? And
Like that, too.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, just simple as that. And he's like, I'm going to go on Joe Rogan's podcast and smoke weed. You're like, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want. We don't care about the stock prices.
I think they're trying to improve what a person is. What I think
Shout
we're
out to
doing.
Roberto
by chopping your
Rogan.
son's balls off?
Okay. That was pretty cool. But before I forget, I wanted to bring up the point with that farting guy, right? He had like 200,000 views or something. Like, that just goes to show how childish the average person is, right? Are those toddlers laughing at those fart videos? Or is there people in their 40s like me fucking clicking on fart videos? Comment down below and let me know if you've seen this fucking, what was it, Ash Ripper guy? Like, do you subscribe to him? Do you watch these? Do you share it to people? Do you like those videos? Do you comment on fucking farting videos? No, I'm curious. Fuck, man, that just tells me there's some childish ass people out there, some grown ass folks fucking watching that shit. I'd like to see their analytics, right? Holy wow! And what does YouTube think about that, right? Like, what does the algorithm think about fart? Like, how many ads do they play on these fart videos? That's funny to think about, man. And then also, like, that whole Anna Nicole Smith thing, like, she's dead, right? Like, where is she? Has she been hiding out? I feel like she passed away. So, like, did she really come out on top if she took all his money after he died? And then what? It's not like she lived a long, awesome life. Like, did she commit suicide? Did she get fucking OD? Did she die in a car accident? Who fucking knows? Comment down below if you know. You know, there's this thing called Google, but that takes too much work. I'd rather hear it from you guys first. And I guess, I mean, if you really want to, you can make some shit up. And I would just take your word for it. But yeah, please don't do that. Let me know what she did or where she's at right now, if not. If she's still alive, where is she? She's fucking hiding in Cuba somewhere, probably with Tupac. Well, anyways, it's all I got. If you made it this far, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit me up with some likes. Go ahead and subscribe. I promise you it's free. I'm running the special. It's free $99 right now. Fucking go ahead and take advantage of that before supplies last. There's only so many subscribers that, you know. Anyways, I'm sure you're tired of me already. Go ahead and take care. And peace out.